Hey guys, Max here of course, and today I thought we'd just talk very quickly about some things that are going on with Twitter and Elon Musk of course, and that whole deal that has been waiting to go through but has just hit a new road bump and things aren't going too well anymore. So firstly, just a very little bit of background on this whole Elon and Twitter deal, in case you don't know. Elon's been a vocal proponent of free speech for a long time, and he also thinks that Twitter is more like a town hall or a forum than a private company, and it should respect the ideas of free speech. Now, as of right now, actually, Twitter is a private company and it doesn't have to respect the ideas of free speech, but Elon is putting his money where his mouth is, and so he's trying to buy Twitter purely so that he can turn it into a free speech haven, and he also wants to make it a better business as well. But really, this is mostly about allowing people to say what they want without being silenced by a company or the government. There were lots and lots of tweets and lots of background here. If you really don't know what's going on, then look through my previous videos. I'll link them down below because they cover everything. But in essence, Elon gave a fairly large offer of $44 billion for the entirety of the company, which is far more than it was worth according to investors as at the time as that offer was made, i.e. its share price was not worth that much. Now, the other problem here comes from the background of Twitter itself as a stock, as an investment, but also as a company. And in short, it's just not a very good story to tell. It went public at the same sort of time as Facebook went public. It was a burgeoning social media site that was destined to, continue growing off into the future and turn hundreds of billions of dollars of revenue a year and make tens of billions of dollars in profit, except it just never got that far. It stagnated, it stopped growing its users, and it never managed to properly monetize itself. And as a result, Twitter went public and pretty much saw its share price remain stagnant and even fall over the course of about 10 years. As a result of this, investors in Twitter aren't very happy. They aren't happy with their investments. Why would they be? It's been a crap investment, that's the simple truth. But Elon buying Twitter out at more than its market price is quite nice for those investors because it means they would get some of their money back and they'd probably make a profit too. So this deal that Elon made, the offer that he made, was accepted, and we've been waiting to hear, what hiccups will come or if it will go ahead. And then the other day we saw this come out from Elon. Twitter deal temporarily on hold pending details supporting calculation that spam fake accounts do indeed represent less than 5% of users. Still committed to the acquisition. To find out, my team will do a random sample of 100 followers of Twitter. I invite others to repeat the same process and see what they discover. FinTwit, a financial-based Twitter account, replied saying, "You didn't think about this before offering $44 billion to buy the company?" To which Elon said, "I relied upon the accuracy of Twitter's findings." Elon also linked to an article talking about Twitter's fake users, its spam accounts, its bot accounts, and things like that. And in essence here, what we see is that Elon thinks Twitter is lying about the amount of legitimate real users they have. Now, full disclosure here, I'm not a lawyer. Of course, I'm not a lawyer. I've never studied anything to do with law, and I'm also British. I don't live in America, so even if I was a lawyer over here, I wouldn't be a lawyer over there. I do not know if this is illegal at all, but it sounds an awful lot like fraud. If that is the case, if Twitter really was and has been lying about the number of their users for years. If nothing else, this is definitely immoral by Twitter's leadership, right? The number of daily users on a social media site is a really huge determinant for people looking to make an investment. It's used to decide how much the company will grow into the future, how much it's growing now, how much it's worth, how well they can monetize those users and things like that. And so lying about that user data should really be fraud, in my opinion, if it isn't, because it's one of the most important metrics people will look at when they decide whether or not to invest in Twitter. Now, Elon probably wants a discount on his offer based on that. He said that he's still committed to the acquisition, so he still wants to buy it. He probably isn't happy paying $44 billion. And I'm not surprised about this at all. A few weeks ago, I tweeted this, and I basically said that, well, if these fake accounts is real and this is fraud by Twitter, then Elon is making the right decision and should be seeking a discount or getting lawyers involved and working out what to do. A more important person had something to tweet though, and that was Parag, the current CEO of Twitter. And he said, "A lot has happened over the past several weeks. I've been focused on the company and haven't said much publicly during this time, but I will now. We announced changes to our leadership team and operations yesterday. Changes impacting people are always hard, and some have been asking why a lame duck CEO would make these changes if we're getting acquired anyway. The short answer is very simple. While I expect the deal to close, we need to be prepared for all scenarios and always do what's right for Twitter. I'm accountable for leading and operating Twitter, and our job is to build a stronger Twitter every day." No one at Twitter is working just to keep the lights on. We take pride in our work, regardless of our company's future ownership. We're here improving Twitter as a product and business for customers, partners, shareholders, and all of you. People have also asked, why manage costs now versus after close? Our industry is in a very challenging macro environment right now. I won't use the deal as an excuse to avoid making important decisions for the health of the company, nor will any leader at Twitter. So what can you expect from me going forward? I'm still focused on doing the job, and that includes making hard decisions as needed. I will continue to embrace the deep complexities of our service and our business, and you can expect more change for the better. I will also try to bring more transparency to the work that we do. You won't see tweets from me on the topic of the day or the loudest soundbite, but rather on the ongoing, continuous and challenging work our teams are doing to improve the public conversation on Twitter. Finally, so much gratitude for our whole Twitter team. They have stood strong and focused, sharp and agile. They've been doing the work as they always have. Now, the reason Parag came out of that Twitter thread was because there's been a lot being said about this deal put on hold, and Parag needed to say something. All he really actually had to say, though, was how many of Twitter's accounts are fake, but he didn't want to do that, probably because he's a little bit worried about legal action too. He also went on some spiel about them laying off some employees after it emerged how little work a lot of the Twitter employees do, and how Elon has made it very clear that they're going to get the axe anyway. Now, in my opinion, there is a possible, very real chance of legal action here, either from Elon to Parag or board members and the people who have been putting out this false data for years now, but also from other Twitter shareholders, people who invested in Twitter in the past under the false assumption that they had X amount of users, only to find out that Twitter was lying to their face the entire time. I think the important thing is probably whether or not Twitter knows they were lying, and I suspect they probably did. Now, will this Twitter deal actually go through? Honestly, I think it still will. Elon definitely wants it. He has funding in place. He can do it tomorrow if he actually wanted to. It's just he isn't happy with the terms, and I don't blame him for being unhappy with those terms. One final thing I want to say regarding this is that deal arbitrage has risk, and that's where you buy Twitter shares at, say, $50 a share on the idea that Elon will buy them from you at $54.20. And there were a lot of people, especially on TikTok and YouTube a couple of weeks ago, saying that this is basically a free money trick, that you get an instant 10% gain, and that's just not true. There is no free lunch. There's always risk with things like this. The first risk is that the deal doesn't go through at all and Twitter just remains a public company, and as I've already said, it's a pretty bad public company and it's not going to do well in the near-term future, so you'll lose money that way. The second risk is what we've just seen, Elon changing the terms of the deal. Maybe he's going to give them less money per share, maybe under the current share price of Twitter, and so those people who try to get that free munch from that deal arbitrage may end up losing money, not making it. Please be careful when it comes to things like this. Don't jump into investments willy-nilly. Think things through. Think about the risk of this deal going through, the risk of it being renegotiated, and all kinds of things like that. If you're interested in deal arbitrage, there are other options out there. Activision is the really big one that Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger have been piling into recently. So there's probably a decent opportunity there. But again, you need to look over the facts for yourself, make your own decisions on how likely it is that the deal goes through or that it fails or whatever other possibilities come about. Finally, just a quick word on where I am. Obviously, this isn't my usual place. I did mention the other day that I'm moving place. I'm in a new flat in London, and I'm in the new flat. But my study is not yet set up. It's taken me ages. You know what it's like. I have wires under the desk and I'm trying to make it all nice and pretty. It may be one more day like this of a video like this, but hopefully I'll be back into my new studio soon enough, and you'll have great quality production and everything. I'm going to have new mics, new cameras, everything's going up a gear. I'm really quite excited. This isn't going to be the background for long. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe to bless the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out. If you want more content like this, then check out our Patreon and join our community of investors. You get access to our Discord server and exclusive content like insight into my portfolio and buy and sell alerts for all my own investments. Of course, make sure to check out the link in the description to Masterworks. It can help you protect your portfolio against market turmoil through fractional shares of art from world-famous artists like Banksy. Art has historically proven to be uncorrelated to the markets, so it's a really valuable resource of the markets, crypto and stocks falling every week. There's also a link in the description to BlockFi, which will give you up to $250 in free Bitcoin when you use it. You can also get interest on your crypto, so it's earning you money while it sits there. Thank you all for watching. Stay stoic. Until next time.